We want to thank you all for coming out tonight. We're glad to have this opportunity to present a program. We hope you enjoy it. If everyone can find a seat, we'll have Jacob Jessup come and offer an opening prayer.
We thank you for our prophet, Uncle Rowan, and we ask you to bless him with every need. And we pray that his prayers will be answered in our behalf. And we ask you to watch over us this night. Help us to have a peaceful evening. We pray for your spirit to watch over us. Bless the performers.
Let's turn down the house lights and start with the opener.
We're gonna sing and smile in a barbershop style. Just let a smile be your umbrella on a rainy, rainy day. And when your sweetie cries, just tell her that a smile will always pay. Whenever skies are gray, don't worry or fret. A smile will bring the sunshine and you'll never get wet. So let a smile be your umbrella on a rainy, rainy day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Golden Circle Show, presented by Streamline Automotive, Color Country Care Center, Western Canyons, Mopsy Maintenance, Golden Circle C-Store, LB Mechanics. Thank you for coming and enjoy the show.
So let a smile be your umbrella on a rainy, rainy day. Rainy, rainy day. So smile on a rainy day.
In 1961, Joseph I. Barlow, with the help of Louis Barlow and others, incorporated Golden Circle Enterprises to promote real estate development and industry in the Golden Circle of Parks and recreation areas. Jethro will present a slide program designed to show some of the many attractions found in our area. This is sometimes referred to as the Four Corners or the Grand Circle, but we know it as the Golden Circle. Like a fabulous jewel encircled with incredibly beautiful gems. Lake Powell in Utah and Arizona is set amidst an enchanting ring of natural spectacles, national parks and monuments, with rugged mountains thrusting to lofty heights, deep canyons, high cliffs, and fantastic arches, plus a host of Indian villages, ghost towns, and prehistoric ruins, all inviting exploration. This region is an unparalleled vacation land. Today, thanks to planning with an eye for scenic adventure and an all-weather highway system, you can see it all with comfort and convenience in one complete circuit. It is called the Grand Circle Adventure, and grand it is, a 900-mile loop around some of the most spectacular country on Earth. Within the circle are 7 national parks: Bryce Canyon, Zions, Capitol Reef, Arches, Canyonlands, Mesa Verde, and the Grand Canyon, plus 7 national monuments: Navajo Natural Bridges, Cedar Breaks, Pipe Springs, Canyon de Chelly, Hoban Weep, and Rainbow Bridge. There are also state parks, historical sites, tribal parks, Monument Valley, and the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. These combine into what has been described as the most sublime spectacle on Earth. John Wesley Powell, the one-armed government explorer, led a boat expedition through the Grand Canyon in 1869 and produced this description, both accurate and poetic, in his Canyons of the Colorado in 1895. This description, edited from his writings about the Grand Canyon, can well include all of the attractions around the Golden Circle. The Grand Canyon of the Colorado is a canyon composed of many canyons. It is a composite of thousands, of tens of thousands of gorges. In like manner, each wall of the canyon is a composite structure, a wall composed of many walls, but never a repetition. Every one of these almost innumerable gorges is a world of beauty in itself. Yet all these canyons unite to form one Grand Canyon, the most sublime spectacle on Earth. Pluck up Mount Washington by the roots to the level of the sea and drop it head first into the Grand Canyon, and the dam will not force its waters over the walls. Pluck up the Blue Ridge and hurry it into the canyon, and it will not fill it. The carving of the canyon is the work of rains and rivers. Every river and creek has excavated its own gorge. When a shower comes in this land, the rills carve canyons, but a little each storm. And though storms are far apart and the heavens above are cloudless for most of the days of the year, still, years are plenty in the ages, and an intermittent rill called to life by a shower can do much work in centuries of centuries. The erosion represented in the canyons, although vast, is but a small part of the great erosion of the region, for between the cliffs, blocks have been carried away far superior in magnitude to those necessary to fill the canyons. Consider a rock, 200,000 square miles in extent and a mile in thickness, against which the clouds have hurled their storms and beat it into sands. And the rills have carried the sands into the creeks, and the creeks have carried them into the rivers, and the Colorado has carried them into the sea. We think of the mountains as forming clouds about their brows, but the clouds have formed the mountains, Great continental blocks are upheaved from beneath the sea by internal geologic forces that fashion the earth. Then the wandering clouds, tempest-bearing clouds, the rainbow-decked clouds, with mighty power and with wonderful skill, carve out valleys and canyons and fashion hills and cliffs and mountains. The clouds are the artist's sublime. In winter, some of the characteristics of the Grand Canyon are emphasized. The blackness below, the variegated quartzite, the green or alcove sandstone form the foundation for the mighty red wall. In winter, the banded sandstone is covered with snow. Seen from below, these changing elements seem to graduate into the heavens, and no plane of demarcation between wall and blue firmament can be seen. The heavens constitute a portion of the facade and mount into a vast dome from wall to wall, spanning the Grand Canyon with Empyrean blue. So the earth and the heavens are blended into one vast structure. When the clouds play in the canyon, as they often do in the rainy season, another set of effects is produced. Clouds creep out of canyons and wind into other canyons. The heavens seem to be alive, not moving as move the heavens over a plain in one direction with the wind, but following multiplied courses of the gorges. In this manner, little clouds seem to be individualized, to have wills and souls of their own, to be going on diverse errands. A vast assemblage of self-willed clouds, faring here and there, intent upon purposes known only to themselves. In the imagination, the clouds belong to the sky, and when they're in the canyon, the skies come down into the gorges and cling to the cliffs and lift them up to immeasurable heights, for the sky must still be far away. Thus they lend infinity to the walls. The wonders of the Grand Canyon cannot be represented in symbols of speech itself. The resources of the graphic art are taxed beyond their power in attempting to portray its features. Language and illustration combined must fail. The elements that unite to make the Grand Canyon the most sublime spectacle in nature are multifarious and exceedingly diverse. The forms which result from the sculpture of Tempest through ages are wrought into endless detail, to describe which would be a task equal in magnitude to that of describing the stars of the heavens, or the multitudinous beauties of the forest, with its traceries of foliage represented by oak and pine and poplar, by beech and linden and hawthorn, by tulip and lily and rose, and by fern and moss and lichen. Besides the elements of form, there are elements of color, for here the colors of the heavens are rivaled by the colors of the rocks. The rainbow is not more replete with hues, but form color do not exhaust all the divine qualities of the Grand Canyon. It is a land of music. The river thunders in perpetual roar, swelling in floors of music when the storms play upon the rocks, and fading away in soft and low murmurs when the infinite blue of heaven is unveiled. With the melody of the great tide, rising and falling, swelling and vanishing forever, other melodies are heard in the gorges of the lateral canyons, while the waters plunge in rapids among the rocks or leap in great cataracts. Thus the Grand Canyon is a land of song. The glories and beauties of form, color, and sound unite in the Grand Canyon. Forms unrivaled even by the mountains, colors that vie with sunsets, and sounds that span from tempest to tinkling raindrop, from cataract to bubbling fountain. But more, it is a vast district of country. If it were a valley plain, it would make a state. It can be seen only in parts from hour to hour. A year scarcely suffices to see it all. It has infinite variety, and no part is ever duplicated. Its colors, though many and complex at an instant, change with the ascending and declining sun. Lights and shadows appear and vanish with the passing clouds, and the changing season mark their passage in changing colors. You cannot see the Grand Canyon in one view, as if it were a changeless spectacle from which a curtain might be lifted, but to see it you have to toil through its labyrinths. It is a region more difficult to traverse than the Alps or the Himalayas, but if strength and courage are sufficient for the task, by a year's toil, a concept of sublimity can be obtained, never again to be equaled on the hither side of paradise.
We draw heavily upon our American heritage, and we're very proud of it. When Golden Circle was organized, the concept of a melting pot was a very popular concept in the United States. And we have integrated many of these cultural concepts into this program. And we want you to know that we appreciate all lands and all peoples, and we want to draw upon the humor and the pathos. We want to gain from other people their experiences, and we don't want anything that we do individually or as a people to reflect negatively on other cultures. In 1883, an American poet named Emma Lazarus penned a poem, a verse, for the christening of the Statue of Liberty. And any of you who have been there have seen this bronze plaque. And I'll just read part of it, where it says, "Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." Now J.I. Barlow's girls will present "My Own America," and then we'll hear from Mr. Lincoln himself.
From north and south to east and west. 467 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived or so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as the final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it will never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth.
Western Canyons was incorporated in 1970 for the contracting and excavating company and for property ownership and development. Western Canyons built spec homes and commercial buildings. There were 30 plus employees in construction. We held government contracts and also owned and operated over-the-road trucks hauling freight throughout the western states. Then the company sold most of the equipment and took on renovation of our nursing homes and motels. In recent years, Western Canyons ran payroll and tax records for 2 companies and is now developing industrial property into incubator capsules for future businesses. And many of these businesses represented here are staffed with former employees of Western Canyons or Double Diamond, and they have either built homes or built fence with each other and rubbed shoulders a lot. So Western Canyons has been like a boot camp, and we feel it's been a very productive and profitable enterprise for building talented and dedicated personnel for many types of work. And the motto of Western Canyons has been, we can. There's sometimes the thing to do is whatever's next, and so we've been required to do that and enjoyed working together very much.
We'll now have the Sunshiners sing Shenandoah, and then the Cowboys will sing The Mystery of His Ways.
I long to hear you I know that this must be the mystery of His way. Then comes the glory home, and bright new things are born. I know that this must be the mystery of His way. So climb you to the highest mountain, and look you to the world below. Living things drink from His fountain, and reaching for the sky they grow. And in glory voice they sing. This is a wondrous thing. I know that this must be the mystery of His way. Oh, climb you to the highest mountain, and look you to the world below. Living things drink from His fountain, and reaching for the sky they grow. And in glory voice they sing. This is a wondrous thing. I know that this must be the mystery of His way. The mystery of His way.
We want you to know that one of the most important members of the Golden Circle Enterprise organization is not here tonight. And we miss Leonard very much. We know that whenever there's work to be done, he's there leading the way. He's one of the guys that's never been afraid to just get right in and learn something new and get the job done. And Leonard, in spite of all the work that he has to do out in the field, took the time to put down on paper a little introduction to his company, which we call LB Mechanics. And at this time, Leonard is in Phoenix. He's recuperating from some major surgery. So he needs our faith and prayers, and we certainly think of him often. I'll read this as he wrote it, if I can. He says, the name LB Mechanics was used as early as 1983, but it wasn't until the latter part of 1987 that it went into business for real. Leonard Barlow had worked for Ideal Plumbing, now Ideal Mechanical, up until about 1979, and for the next 8 years did a variety of jobs, including some side contracting. In 1983, with the help of the other boys, Carson, Timothy, Philip, Israel, we took the contract on a 24-unit apartment in Page, Arizona. we did real good. And oh, by the way, what we do is heating and air conditioning and some plumbing if we have to. Then in 1987, when it came to the point when we felt like it was the thing to do, we, with the help of Mr. Joseph I. Barlow, got the bank to go with us on a note to go buy sheet metal equipment. Now that's quite a project, if any of you have ever tried getting the bank to go with you. Joseph Barlow and son Leonard Barlow took the money and went to California. That's a good idea too. We were able to acquire the equipment at prices that we liked and had money left over to prepare the building. We acquired the services of Andrew Barlow, and he, along with Leonard, went to work. Within a year, the note was paid. I didn't say the help was, I said the note was paid. Since then, we have been far and wide. While we would like to do work in town, we have found that in order to survive, we must go out. We are now in the middle of a $100,000 contract with Wedgwood Development. This project has already taken us to Bullhead City and Death Valley, and we have yet to go to Sequoia National Park and Point Reyes National Seashore. No, these are not have-fun trips. There are houses that must be put together, and we have to work, at least a little bit. We have done jobs in Salt Lake City. We have been to Colorado on jobs with American West and Northern Star. Today, we have a crew of 5. Besides Andrew and Leonard, we have Isaac, Millward Jr., and for the summer, we have Lucas. And for Leonard's part on the program, we thought maybe we'd draw on his black heritage just a little. We'll have Marshall sing Old Man River, and then Virginia and Amanda, with some accompaniment, will sing Kentucky Babe.
Colored folk work on the Mississippi. Colored folk work while the white folk play. Pulling them boats from the dawn till sunset, getting no rest till the judgment day. Don't look up and don't look down. Don't dast make the white boss frown. Bend your knees, bow your head, pull that rope until you're dead. Let me go away from the Mississippi, let me go away from the white man boss. Show me that stream called the River Jordan. That's the old stream that I long to cross. Old Man River, that old man river, he must know something, but don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling, he keeps on rolling along. He don't plant taters, he don't plant cotton, and them that plants 'em is soon forgotten. But Old Man River, he just keeps rolling along. You and me, we sweat and strain, body all aching and racked with pain. Tote that barge, lift that bell, get a little drunk and you land in jail. I gets weary and sick of trying. I'm tired of living and scared of dying. But Old Man River, he just keeps rolling along. Old Man River, that Old Man River, he must know something, but don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling, he keeps on rolling along. He don't plant taters, he don't plant cotton, and them that plants 'em is soon forgotten. But Old Man River, he just keeps rolling along. You and me, we sweat and strain, body all aching and racked with pain. Tote that barge, lift that bale, get a little drunk and you land in jail. I gets weary and sick of trying. I'm tired of living and scared of dying. But Old Man River, he just keeps rolling along.
Cedars and the humming of the honeysuckle vine. Sleep, Kentucky babe. Sandman and my coming towards little babe of mine. Sleep, Kentucky babe. Silvery moon I'm shining in the heavens up above. All the Lincoln white and gold is little lady love. You is mighty lucky, babe of old Kentucky. Close your eyes and sleep. Fly away, Kentucky, babe. Fly away to rest. Fly away. Lay your little sleepy head on your mammy's breast. Close your eyes in sleep. Daddy's in the canebrake with his little dog and gun. Sleep, Kentucky babe. Watching for your breakfast when your sleeping time is done. Sleep, Kentucky babe. Boogeyman will catch you sure unless you close your eyes. Waiting just outside the door to take you by surprise. Best be keeping shady, drowsy little lady. Close your eyes and sleep.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to blacken my face tonight. I guess you'll have to look at it in its natural state. If that hurts anybody, there's some sunglasses passing around in a few minutes maybe. Just came here tonight to give us a little facts on the Golden Circle restaurant. We opened up in Hurricane, Utah on May 2nd, 1988, which is just over 4 years ago. On our opening day, we opened in the afternoon, or in the evening, about 5 o'clock, and we served nothing but steak dinners the first day, and we were able to sell enough steaks that night that we could get enough funding to buy a few more supplies. We didn't have much of a budget to start with. The first few days I had to bring a lot of the supplies from my home freezer, and I ate pretty good, but some of my kids had to go without. But since that time, we've continued to build up our inventories. One of the suppliers in Hurricane the other day was giving me trouble about that. It says, "You're the only restaurant in the state that's rotating next year's stock." So I guess we're doing something right. Anyway, since our opening day on May 2nd of 1988, we have served 3,600 pounds of fish products and also 5 tiny little victims that Winford and Helaman caught on one of their worm drowning expeditions on Quail Lake. We've also served 9,000 pounds of pork products, 8,100 pounds of poultry, including chicken, turkey, etc. We've used 86,400 eggs, which is 7,200 dozen. And we've used 7,200 pounds of coffee, and I consume most of that all by myself because I just have to work so hard to try to keep things going. We've used 12,000 pounds of hamburger and 10,800 pounds of USDA choice steaks. And our top seller, biggest seller, we have used 22,800 pounds of roast beef, and I'm here to tell you that that's one lot of roast beef, and that ain't no bull. We've had, in the last 4 years, 142,800 guests that we've served, and among those guests, we've been privileged to serve Uncle Fred many times, and we've had the distinct privilege of having Uncle Rulon several times. And of the 142,000 customers, about half of them spoke English. The other half come from Germany and Spain and Switzerland, Japan, all over the world. And a lot of them come in for directions, trying to find out where everything is and where they're going. We had one guy come in one day and he says, "Hey, to buy what you turn to one of Zion." And so I guess from that he wanted to find out how to go to Zion Canyon. So I says, "Well, you get out here on Highway 9, you go to where the road makes a bend," and he says, "Yaw." I says, "You follow that down there, and you make the turn off at on the Zion Canyon turn off," and he says, "Yaw." As you drive on into Springdale, he says, "Yaw." And then by that time I could tell that nothing was penetrating. So I says, "You owe me $50. He says, "Yaw." But I wasn't able to collect. We had another tourist come in, and he was way better prepared. He had his road atlas there, and he had the road outline where he figured he had to go to get to Grand Canyon, and he had it outlined with his highlighter pen, and he had it all figured out just right, except for one little detail. He had his crayons zipped right over the top of the Grand Canyon because he wanted to go to both the north and the south rim. And he wanted to know if that was for sure the way to go, because on a map it looks like you could just zip right across there. So I says, no, you have to go down, around a couple of 100 miles. And he says, no, I go this way. I says, no, you don't go that way. You go around. It's gonna take a little while. You got to do that. He says, no, I go this way. He says, no bridge? I says, too big, too wide, much and big, caramba. I never heard of any crashes on the bottom of the Grand Canyon, so I guess he made it. We have also contributed quite a bit to our local economy here. Most of our work we have hired out of town here, and we've paid a total of $300,000 in payroll and payroll taxes, and that includes sales taxes. And hardly any of that money found its way into my thin wallet. The IRS got most of it, but the rest of it we paid to our help, and some of it has gone into some of the guys who have built on their houses and helped with some of the community projects, and I'm sure it's done a lot of good. And I'd also like to take a little time to say how much I appreciate working with Uncle Joe. So I find that he's been a man of character and dignity, and I very much appreciate him. He's honest and reliable, and he's a lot of fun and a real good friend, and I appreciate him very much. And now we're going to have a little program here. We're going to have some door prizes, and it's courtesy of the Moonshiners.
You'll notice he said the Moonshiners, not the Sunshiners. Well, this next part, we've had a lot of fun with it, and we put it together at Dad's request. He was gone all week, so he can't take responsibility for it. I have to.
Y'all here together tonight. Now, we all have an announcement to make. Now, we all got one of our buddies here, and he done looking for his twin brother he ain't seen since he was 3. And we all hear that there was a guy in these here parts been going by the alias name of Wendell Nielsen. And he is his twin brother, identical twins. He ain't seen him since he's 3. If y'all see him, y'all let us know, okay? Please. All right, let's go in now. Let's go in now. All right. Where's the key, man? Now he is digging in my pants pocket. Now he is groping in my coat pocket. I don't know. I just didn't find that key, man. It's gotta be bad, man. It's gotta be bad. Yeah. You see, old Lee, he runs the Cedar Crest Motel. He done give us a party down at the club last night. But Richard, he all went home early, and he done got the key to the place. We all got to knock on the door and see if we all can get in. Open the door, Richard. Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door? You see, Richard sleeps in the back room. It's kind of hard to hear. Maybe we better knock a little louder.
that door. Now Richard, my boy, he's a cool cat, but when he sleeps, he dies.
I don't think Richard done hit me yet. Maybe we better knock a little out and see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, all right. Open the door, man. Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door?
Richard, open the door, man. It's kind of cold out here in this air. Now, Bert, there's that old woman across the street. She wants to make sure this ain't me. She's trying to find out what's happening. Yeah, it's me, and I'm late again.
Who's that with her, sweet?
Must be a sister, I guess.
Sweets, did you done hear what that lady said?
No, what did she say?
She all say we sure looks common out here in the street.
Common? Man, I got class I ain't never used yet.
Yeah, let's all knock again. Yeah, Richard's gotta get up. He's gonna get right now. Open the door, Richard. Open that door. Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Richard, why don't you open that door? Hey, man. You all got a key to the house? No, sweet, I don't got a key. I don't got a key. You know? Well, somebody's got to get in there. We all can't climb into transit. I know he's in there.
How do you know he's in there?
I can hear him breathing.
Ooh, we better knock one more time. Open the door, Richard. Maybe Richard's gone.
Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door?
You sure he didn't put on his clothes and go to the party?
I know. I got on the only suit. We all ain't got but one suit between us. That's why I don't like to room with nobody. Hey, Nick, open the door! Richard, why don't you open the door, man? Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door? Yeah, open the door. Richard, open the door.
Hey, honey child, try the knob.
Hey, Richard. Hey, Richard.
He's been watching us all the time, man. Save us some, Richard.
Hey, it's watermelon.
There's the key. We had to kick Richard out. He was causing too much of a ruckus. I walked up to the desk clerk. He looked at me and said, "You can have a room, but you'd have to make your bed." I said, "That's okay, buddy. I learned that from my ma." He reached out and handed me a hammer and a saw. I picked up my telephone. The manager said hello. He said, "What's eating you?" I said, "That's what I'd like to know." That was about the condition of the Cedar Crest Motel on February 13, 1986, when Golden Circle Enterprises purchased it. Although the property was in disrepair, there was a lot of potential in the project. The buildings were solid and the grounds looked like they could be made into something nice. Lawns and trees were in place, and with repair the place could be made into a successful business. The motel business coincided with the original plan of the Golden Circle Enterprises. The first few years were a real struggle financially, with Cedar Crest being subsidized by Golden Circle Enterprises. Oliver Barlow and Vance Barlow were going to SUSC at the time, so it made sense to have them come run the motel. There were only 7 rooms open for rent at the time, and those shouldn't have been. These guys had a real job on their hands. That first year when they opened the motel, then they had about 60 private saunas. So that was a little expensive to operate, so they tore out the old leaky steam heating system and replaced it with electric heat. The sewer system was another nightmare they had to work with. But in 1988, LB Mechanical and Western Canyons Construction came up and put in a new sewer system that ran into the city system instead of into the basement. Cedar Crest Motel became a good place for students to stay while going to college. Many of the rooms were remodeled by students from home. In the spring of 1988, Timothy came to work full-time remodeling rooms. Before Timothy rebuilt the laundry room, we couldn't tell it from the coal room. In the summer of 1989, then Fawn and I came and worked the summer with Oliver, learning how to run a motel. At the end of the summer, then it was left to me and Fawn and the students that were still there going to school. In May 31st, 1990, a new corporation was formed called the Renaissance Inn Incorporated, with Golden Circle holding most of the stock. In the winter of 1990, then we were still running the same old boiler system that ran the cold steam just for hot water. Felt like we was heating up the whole state. We didn't even need heaters in our apartment because it was right under us there. But we took and shut that down. You remember about a year and a half ago when we had that real bad cold snap? That was the day we turned off that boiler, turned on a new one. 1991 was the first year we showed a profit. This year we will show an even bigger profit. We're even paying payroll now. I finally figured out why the IRS gets the biggest check on the payroll, because they don't have any taxes taken out of theirs. Some comments from our guest. This is the worst motel I've ever stayed in. Another one said, this is one of the nicest motels I've ever stayed in. We had another comment, your rates are some of the highest I've ever paid. Or another one said, these are some of the most reasonable rates I've ever seen. In the motel business, when we get the opportunity to meet a lot of people from around the world. Jeremy will now sing Let There Be Peace on Earth, and we'll have a song from our maids, You Can Smile.
Let there be peace
In 1969, J.I. Barlow and Lee Beislein joined forces and put a down payment on an old home in Salt Lake on the avenues, which had been converted into a 27-bed nursing home. They called it the Golden Circle Manor. In 1972, they purchased another old home with an additional 27 beds and called it the Golden Circle West. Then, in 1974, they acquired the Cedar Manor nursing home in Cedar City. Lee and Naoma took over the management of Cedar City operations, and Joe and Alice stayed with the facility in Salt Lake. Federal and state regulations became too stringent in the late 70s, and the old homes were closed to move the patients into a new facility, the Olympus Care Center. In 1982, the corporation Golden Circle Enterprises sold its interest in Cedar Manor to Lee Beislein and kept the Olympus Care Center for a few years. Then sold the facility and the Barlows moved back home. In 1985, Joe and Alice were asked to take over the young old folks home in St. George. They called the new business the Color Country Care Center and began to operate it with Alice as the administrator. After a few years, the Beisleins sold their interest in Cedar Manor, and Naomi came on staff at the Color Country as the director of nursing. At present, the facility is enjoying a good reputation in the community of St. George with the many years of experience Joe, Alice, and Naomi have had. And for their part on the program, we will have a representation from Alice, Myrtle, and Rosalita, and from Ottoby residents.
Since you're new here, you can go get Alice.
She's the cranky woman in room 4, isn't she?
She's cranky, all right. You'll be okay.
See, nurse? What do you see? What are you thinking when you look at me? A cranky old woman, not very wise, uncertain of habit with faraway eyes, who dribbles her food and makes no reply when you say in a loud voice, I do wish you'd try, who seems not to notice the things that you do, forever is losing a stocking or shoe, who resisting or not lets you do as you will. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you see? Then open your eyes, nurse. You're not looking at me. I'll tell you who I am as I sit here so still, as I do your bidding, as I eat at your will. I'm a small child of 10 with a father and mother, with brothers and sisters who love one another. I'm a young girl of 16 with wings on her feet, dreaming that soon now a lover she'll meet. A bride soon at 20, my heart gives a leap, remembering the vows I promised to keep. At 25 now, I have young of my own, who need me to build a secure, happy home. A woman of 30, my young now grown fast, bound to each other with ties that will last. At 40, my young sons have grown and are gone, but my man's beside me to see I don't mourn. At 50 once more babies play round my knee. Again we know children, my loved one and me. Dark days are upon me, my husband is dead. I look at the future, I shudder with dread. For my young are all rearing, young of their own, and I think of the years and the love I have known. I'm an old woman now, and nature is cruel. 'Tis her jest to make old age look like a fool. The body, it crumbles, grace and vigor depart. There is now a stone where I once had a heart. But inside this old body, a young girl still dwells, and now and again my battered heart swells. I remember the joys, I remember the pain, and I'm loving and living life over again. I think of the years, all too few, gone too fast, and accept the stark fact that nothing can last. So open your eyes, nurse, open and see. Not a cranky old woman, I'm still me.
in the spring of '82 when Antha started mechanic school at Utah Technical College in Salt Lake City. After graduating a year or so later, he decided to pursue collision repair and enrolled in the collision repair program at the same school. In the spring of '84, he took first place in the state competition of collision repair, qualified him to enter the national competition in Louisville, Kentucky. He finished in the top 10 in that competition. In '85, he graduated with a second associate's degree, and he entered the state competition again for the second year in a row. He took first place. He went to the nationals in Phoenix, Arizona, and took third place in that competition. He moved home and started working as a mechanic at J&B. He worked there about 2 years. About October of '87, he expressed to me the desire to set up a collision repair shop. We tossed around the idea for a few weeks and came up with the name of Streamline Automotive. He started by doing a few jobs in Greg Holmes' shop. It didn't work out very well, so he started working out of the Western Canyons building. And that was when I started helping him full time. We really hadn't solved the problem of workspace, so we got going on our own building. It was designed for the needs of the business. And in March of '88, we broke ground for the new building, which was to include 3 collision repair bays and a lube bay designed for vehicle maintenance. It was quite a challenge to build without funding, but we had a lot of support from Dad and from Golden Circle. In October of '88, we were able to obtain funding, which finished the shop by December. And in January of '89, we moved into our new shop. And 1 year later, we opened the Streamlube shop. We currently employ 5 people, 3 in the collision repair shop, 1 full-time in the lube bay, and 1 part-time. We would like to take this opportunity to thank you, our customers, for we realize that without customers, a business is nothing. And now we're going to have the Moonshiners sing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked out the window and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A watermelon wagon running to a tree, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
If y'all get there before I do,
coming for to carry me home.
Save me some chicken and some watermelon too,
coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I'm sometimes up and I'm sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. If I don't quit eating that watermelon, I'll stay big and round,
coming for to carry me home. to carry me home. When I had some of that watermelon in my jar, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Where's the soul? Where's the soul? Where's that soul?
In 1981, the 7M Corporation went into the restaurant and convenience store business and on the very outskirts of Hurricane. But because they didn't have good community support, they couldn't stay open through the long winters without the tourists, and foreclosure forced the sale of the property to Lamar and Thale Gubler. They tried their hand at running the Cubby's convenience store and Zion Trail restaurant, but that venture ended with the first winter and the property sat dormant for a season. In early 1988, the Gublers approached Uncle Joe and Tyler about purchasing the property, and they hoped that with the support from Hilldale and Colorado City, the project could work. Well, a one-year trial lease was signed and the restaurant was subleased to John to be run as Golden Circle Restaurant, and the Golden Circle convenience store and restaurants were opened on May 2nd, 1988. After the trial lease expired, we signed a longer 3-year lease, and just recently we signed a long-term real estate contract, and we're there to stay thanks to you good people. So far we have sold 3,276,000 gallons of fuel, 16,900 quarts of oil, 81,900 hot dogs, 100,000 candy bars, and 491,400 soft drinks. And Tyler has helped John with that coffee that he was talking about, and sometimes when they're drinking coffee there, a question comes up, and sometimes the conversation looks a little bit like this next number, the Darky Debate.
I've heard that one before. Feel better.
Come daughter, come daughter. This am the Darky Debate Society. Last time we done decide which had the most wonders, the land or the water. This here time, today, order, we all's gonna decide, we're gonna make a decision today, which them the most power. They pen or the stove. Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Locke. Now, what's the use of that sword unless you all go on to war? You don't need a sword unless you're going to war. I isn't. Mrs. Morehouse isn't. I bet you no fella what's on the side of the swords go on to war. So what's the use of that sword? I don't think there's any use for any more argument. Settle this. Hold on now. Hold on now. Mr. Chairman now. Yes, Mr. Loomer. Now what I want to know is this, man. What's the use of this pen lesson you all knows how to write?
Who needs to what anyhow?
How that?
Look at me, I don't what. Who needs to?
Why look at the children of Israel. Wasn't but one man in the whole choir going up from Egypt to the promised land what even knowed how to write. And he all didn't write but mighty little. Maybe the 10 Commandments.
You sure he wrote them?
Why, sure, and
There wasn't no pens in them days.
sure he wrote them. But he all didn't do it with a pen. Maybe he done cut them out with a chisel. Or maybe even a sword. A sword, yeah. He done broke them all anyhow before he got down the hill. Then when he done cut out the new set, the children of Israel done broke them all again. Say he could write. What good did it do? So his pen and no count, no how, no stuff, no stuff. It's the soul what boxed him into the promised land. It's the soul. It's ridiculous. Y'all just think it's Joshua and the children of Israel running around the city with their pens in the air? The idea is just too phosphorus to spend time on. You think it is when the cutting off Goliath's head with a pen? You ever cut open a watermelon with a pen? Y'all might poke a little old hole in it. Mr. Chairman, it's the sword. The sword must win the argument. I think we should hear now from the most intelligent man here, the most learned man, the most intelligent man. We'll now hear from Dr. Crane. Yes.
I think Mr. Lumen a little bit fast. He's speaking of the time in the dim past, when the mind of man was in the rough state, and not toned down to the refinement of civilized times. They wasn't dedicated up to the use of the soul. Now in these times, our souls rust in their cupboards. Our souls washed in their cupboards. And peace, sweet peace, cover the land. Now what has brung about this here change, I ask y'all? Of course, it's the pen. Do I take a soul to get me a peck of sweet taters? A couple of chickens? Or Mr. Lumen's watermelon? No, sir. I just takes my pen and I writes an order for him. I want money. I don't get it by the edge of the sword. I write a check. I want a suit of clothes. A stroke of the pen, the mighty pen, and the clothes is on their way. I's done.
Very, very good. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Newman. With all due respect to the learned gentleman that just spoke, we must all agree that for smoothing things off and leveling things down, there ain't nothing equal to sword.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Honeycutt, do you have anything intelligent to say? I agree entirely with Mr. Newsom. And in answer to what Dr. Crane says, I would just ask, what's the use of writing a check less'n y'all got the money in the bank?
I'll bet this man is overdraft.
Or writing an order on the store less'n the store trust y'all. Supposing the store do trust y'all, ain't it easier to send a boy as to write an order? Y'all ain't got no boy handy telegraph the order. No use for the pen. Not a bit. Y'all ever hear of Mr. Hill's pen? Why, of course you ain't. No, the Bunker Hill didn't have no pen. But old Bunker Hill's sword, his mighty sword, was known by every child in the land. Why, if it weren't for the sword old Bunker Hill, where'd all us colored folk be tonight? I ask y'all. Not here, sir. Maybe in Georgia, sir. Worse, maybe picking cotton down on the Swanee River. Why, there ain't no colored man alive that ever go back on the sword. Y'all know that.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Locke.
It seems like when the facts is against you, y'all speak of the law. But when the law is against you, y'all speak of the facts. But when the facts and the law is against you, all you do is speak loud.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Newsom.
I think we done hit all the board. Mr. Larkin over there, he favored the pen. Mr. Lumen here, stand firm for the sword. Dr. Crane and Mrs. Crane, where does y'all stand?
Me? Why, I stand with Sugar Plum here. We all for the sword, ain't we, honey?
Dr. and Mrs. Crane is for the sword.
Oh, I is definitely for the pen.
Cause we for the pen. Mr. Newman, whoever gave y'all the idea we was for the sword?
Dr. and Mrs. Crane is for the pen. Myself, Mr. Honeycutt here, we for the sword. Based on the arguments y'all just heard, I make the motion that the committee make the decision.
I second that motion.
I have heard the arguments. I don't say I agree with the arguments and the carrying on. In fact, I know I don't agree with the carrying on. But I hear them. I hear them loud and I hear them clear. Mrs. Mohouse, are you ready to side with me on this committee and make some decisions?
I sure am.
Now let's see. Mr. Larkin and Dr. and Mrs. Crane is 40 pence. And Lumen and Newsom and Gruesome
Honeycutt
is 40 so. That door makes a majority vote of 3 to 3. Balance on both sides of the scale. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, Mr. Morehouse, we all ain't heard your vote yet. Which side of this here issue is you and the missus on? The side of the sword or the pen?
Why we just for the pen?
What?
We definitely for the pen.
George!
Honey, sugar pie, is you is or is you ain't my baby? I said the pen have the most beneficial sugar pie. committee has come to a decision. We declare by ignominious vote that they sow them the most power and appear them the most beneficial.
And if you've ever watched John and Tyler settle an issue, you know that they really know how to come to an incision. And they always insult with each other before they come to any important concussions or contusions. Behind all the fun, there's a certain individual that we all respect and admire very much. And we'll now hear from the president of the corporation.
I'm at quite a loss to know what to say, but I'd like to close on a little bit more of a serious note. We like to go from the ridiculous to the sublime sometimes. And I'd like to talk to us for a minute or two about the concept, my concept, of what the Golden Circle means to me. In the philosophy we've had in our company, I made a few notes here and to try and jog my memory. The different businesses that we've tried to work in. It's been the real estate and insurance, in construction, transportation, hospitality business, the healthcare business, the restaurant business, the sales, accounting services, automotive services, heating and air conditioning, sheet metal. And we've enjoyed the work and enjoyed working with each other. And when Golden Circle was first incorporated in 1961, there were hardly any of these boys that were old enough to be a part of anything like that, and some of them were not even born. But they're part of my Golden Circle, and they always have been. And I like to think of my Golden Circle as a golden circle of a lot of things. A golden circle of friends. I have in my memories a golden circle of memories. I remember, and I have fond and beautiful memories, golden memories, that include Uncle Rulon for many, many years, and Uncle Fred, and Uncle Lewis, and my dear brothers that I love. I have a golden circle that includes these wonderful sons of mine and my daughters, whom I can hardly see or look at without being emotional. I have a golden circle of grandchildren, and you, all my friends. You're my golden circle. I have a golden circle of memories that include a few of these names. Uncle Carl, Uncle Rich, Grandpa Jessup. Many, many golden memories of Uncle Roy, Uncle Virgil, Uncle Newell, Uncle Elmer,
Uncle Edson, Uncle Bill Cook, Uncle Leonard Black, a beautiful part of my golden circle of memories, and Uncle Isaac Carling. And I even have some memories of Jay Jessup that are golden memories, because I love his memory. He was a fine young man, and I was well aware of his integrity when he was here. I have also another appreciation for a golden circle of records. Golden records that are available to us. Golden truths that have been left by Uncle Roy and Uncle Rulon. Just one or two of them would be Keep Sweet. What a beautiful record was left by that beautiful man, John Y. Barlow. Is part of my golden circle of memories. The Spirit of God is the Spirit of peace. Revelation is better than no revelation. What is more pleasing to God than innocence? We've had other great records left for us to study and to learn about, to fill our lives with golden memories and golden relationships. We've had the Beatitudes and the Ten Commandments, the Articles of Faith, the lectures on faith, the journals, the history of the church, the sermons of Uncle Roy. And what a golden circle we do have in this community. May the Lord bless us to keep our golden circle alive, that our relationships in our business and in our families and everywhere we go can be the diamond golden truth that Uncle Rulon is struggling so hard to get us to do. This is certainly my desire, and this is my golden circle. Thank you.
Here it is, here's your name, and you
And all of us who know Uncle Joe know that his dream is contagious. And it's our hope and prayer that we can catch the dream that he has. We thank you for coming out tonight. I'd like to ask Uncle Clyde to come and close with prayer.
Our Father in heaven, we thank Thee for this beautiful evening that we've had together, for the entertainment that has been provided for us, and for the spirit that it conveys. We thank the performers for their tireless efforts to perfect their parts, and we appreciate the audience receiving them well. We are thankful to have President Jeffs here to be with us. And we pray that his prayers may be answered unto him, and that he may be blessed with long life, good health, and strength. Our Father in heaven, please help us to keep sweet in all circumstances, that we may have thy Spirit as our constant guide and companion, and that through thy Spirit we may purify our minds and bodies and become clean every whit, that we may be fit to serve thee in these coming days, in the days of visitation and the great work that is to be accomplished. And we pray thy Spirit to continue with us this evening, and we ask it in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.